The auditorium was quiet as the guest speaker walked to the podium. The room was filled with silver-haired men and women, some leaning on canes, others flanked by adult children who had brought them. To hear the message, it wasn't about vitamins, insurance, or senior discounts. It was about something far more dangerous, the things we say as we grow old that quietly destroy us. The speaker, Dr. Isaac Brenner, a seasoned psychologist and elder health advisor, looked over the audience and said, "Tonight, I won't ask you to change your diet or sign up for yoga. I'm here to show you how 3 sentences spoken every day by millions of people over 6'5" are quietly killing them." A murmur moved through the crowd. He continued, "The most dangerous thing about growing older isn't your body. It's your mouth, more specifically, the words you say to yourself and others. These words shape your reality, shrink your future, and rob you of the years you still have." Then, in a clear and steady voice, he began to unpack the 3 things no elder should ever say. -1, I'm just too old for that. He wrote the sentence in big letters on a whiteboard behind him. Say this sentence often enough, he said, and your nervous system believes it. Dr. Brenner told the story of a 74-year-old woman named Joyce who used to paint watercolors. After retiring, she told her daughter, "I'm too old to start painting again." That was 10 years ago. She never touched a brush again. Do you know what changed? Dr. Brenner asked. Her body didn't break. Her desire didn't fade. Her permission to try again disappeared. He explained that this phrase is dangerous because it acts as a verbal surrender. You tell your muscles not to grow. You tell your brain not to stretch. You tell your future it's been canceled. Several heads in the audience nodded. Dr. Brenner stepped forward. You are not too old to learn. You are not too old to create. You are not too old to matter, unless you keep saying you are. Then he paused and said something that hit the room like a gong. Don't let your tongue speak death over your own life, too. I don't want to be a burden. This one drew audible sighs. Everyone in the room had said it or heard it at some point. Dr. Brenner nodded slowly. This sentence sounds noble, but it's rooted in shame, not strength. He shared the story of Thomas, an 81-year-old widower who lived alone. His daughter visited every Sunday, but he never asked for help even when his back gave out. One morning, he fell in the kitchen and couldn't reach his phone. He lay there for 12 hours until his neighbor found him. When asked later why he never called anyone, Thomas said, "I didn't want to be a burden." Dr. Brenner lowered his voice. That sentence nearly cost him his life. He turned to the audience. Let me say this clearly. You are not a burden. You are a blessing with needs. Just like you once cared for others, now it's okay to let others care for you, he added. When you cut yourself off from help, you're not being strong. You're isolating yourself from the very lifeline that could keep you healthy, connected, and alive. He urged the audience to replace the sentence with something more honest. I need support, and I'm still worth loving. 3. My best days are behind me. This one was the heaviest. Dr. Brenner looked out at the faces in front of him, many softened by age, some hardened by grief. He said, this sentence is the slowest suicide. A woman in the third row gasped softly. It tells your brain not to dream. It tells your soul not to hope. It tells your body not to prepare for anything but decline. He talked about Charles, a 79-year-old man who had once been a high-level executive. After retiring, he refused to travel, refused to volunteer, and refused to socialize. Those days are behind me, he'd say. But when his grandson invited him to speak at his college, Charles agreed, and after that one speech, he began mentoring again. Within 6 months, Charles said he felt more alive than he had in 15 years. You see, Dr. Brenner said, your best days are not measured by your career, your bank account, or your physical speed. They're measured by your impact, your joy, your courage. He walked to the edge of the stage and stared directly at the audience. If you woke up today, your story isn't over. Your best day might still be waiting, but you'll never find it if you keep telling it to stay in the past. A sudden pause, then something unexpected happened. Dr. Brenner pulled out a small note and read aloud. Greater than dear Dr. Brenner, my name is Ruth. I'm 83. I watched your last talk online. I just wanted to say, after hearing your words, I started writing poetry again. My hands shake. My eyesight isn't great, but I've written 12 poems. One of them made my great-granddaughter cry. She said it was beautiful. I thought I had nothing left to give, but it turns out I was wrong. Thank you. Ruth from Nebraska. The crowd erupted in soft applause, many wiping their eyes. Dr. Brenner smiled. You see, words can either end your chapter or start a new one. Final reflection. He closed the talk with a mirror on stage. I want you to say 3 new sentences when you look in the mirror tomorrow. He said, 1. I'm not too old, I'm still here. 2. I'm not a burden, I am a part of this world. 3. My best days are not behind me, they're mine to make. He pointed to the mirror. Because your reflection listens, and the more you speak life, the longer and better you live. As the audience rose to their feet, something changed in the room. It wasn't just inspiration. It was resurrection. People stood taller, straighter, as if their bodies had just been reminded, you're not done yet. After Dr. Isaac Brenner's talk about the 3 deadly phrases elders should never say, a quiet storm stirred across communities. Retirement homes posted his quotes on bulletin boards. Libraries started late bloomers clubs. Grandchildren sent the video to their grandparents with notes that said, please don't give up. But when Dr. Brenner returned to the stage in Dallas a month later, he brought with him a message even more sobering. Words are powerful, he said, but what you do and where you go can either help you live longer or slowly shut you down. He paused, scanning the elderly crowd seated before him, dignified, determined, many holding notebooks. Tonight, we're going to talk about 3 things you must stop doing and 3 places you must stop going if you want to stay alive in every way that matters. The room leaned in. Habit number 1, stop sitting still all day. Brenner held up a photo of a cozy recliner. This chair has killed more people than heart disease. A chuckle rippled through the room, but he didn't smile. Extended physical inactivity after 65 leads to faster muscle atrophy, bone loss, and cognitive decline. Yet most seniors sit for 8 to 12 hours a day. He pointed to a study from Harvard showing that even light movement like standing every 30 minutes or walking for 5 minutes per hour can reduce all-cause mortality by 30% in older adults. Your muscles are not dead, he said. They're waiting for a reason to wake up. He challenged the audience to build a movement. Loop 5 physical actions every 2 hours. Stretch, stand, reach, walk, breathe deeply. Don't sit your way into the grave, he warned. Stand like your life depends on it, because it does. Habit number 2, stop replaying regrets. No, his tone softened. I've spoken to hundreds of seniors in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, and the number 1 mental habit killing them is loneliness, or fear it's regret. He recounted the story of Richard, a retired bus driver who spent his days sitting by the window saying, if only I had. Over and over, regret consumed his mornings. It dulled his evenings. It kept him from seeing beauty, from starting hobbies, from calling his kids. Dr. Brenner said, regret becomes a poison you sip daily until all joy is numb. He offered a replacement. Reflection with redirection. Write down 1 regret, but under it, write 1 thing you can still do now to create a new memory. Shift from if only to what next. A woman raised her hand, whispering, I stopped playing piano after my divorce. I regret it. Dr. Brenner smiled. Start again. It's waiting for you. Habit number 3, stop isolating yourself emotionally. No, his voice grew heavy. Isolation isn't just about living alone. It's about believing no one cares if you're here or not. He cited studies showing that emotional isolation in elders increases the risk of death by 45% more than smoking, obesity, or alcoholism. Then he spoke of Helen, an 86-year-old woman who hadn't had a deep conversation in over a year. She spoke to cashiers, nodded to her neighbors, but no one saw her anymore. She told me, I feel like a ghost. Dr. Brenner looked out at the crowd. You are not a ghost. You are still a soul. He encouraged the audience to do something bold. Make 3 emotional contacts a week: a call, a letter, a coffee invite, even a heartfelt message. Connection isn't a luxury in old age. It's a lifeline. Then he paused. And now, let's talk about the 3 places you should stop going if you want to live. People shifted in their seats. Some leaned closer. Place number 1, don't go to places that steal your dignity. Brenner's tone turned serious. There are senior centers, churches, and even family homes that strip you of dignity. Places where people talk over you, dismiss your opinions, infantilize you. He told the story of Mary, a retired schoolteacher who moved in with her son's family. She was grateful, but slowly, they began treating her like a burden. They picked her clothes, hid her car keys, called her adorable when she spoke. She stopped talking altogether. He stepped forward. If you're in a place where people see you as cute instead of capable, you must reclaim your space or leave. He encouraged elders to seek out environments where they're invited to contribute community boards, mentorship programs, volunteering teams. Don't stay where you're patronized. Go where your experience is power. Place number 2. Don't go where everyone complains. No, the mood shifted again. There are coffee groups, waiting rooms, and even lunch circles where all people do is talk about pain, pills, and politics. These become toxicity circles. He explained that chronic exposure to negativity increases cortisol levels and contributes to heart disease, memory loss, and depression. You are the average of the 5 voices you hear most often. He said, if all of them are complaining, you begin to shrink. He urged the audience to set social boundaries. Find people who talk about dreams, kindness, art, music, change. Don't let your environment turn you into someone you don't even recognize. Place number 3. Don't go where you're only remembered. Never seen this one hit the hardest. There are places you go just to remind people you're still alive. Family homes, where no one asks about you. Churches where no one notices you've stopped attending. Communities where you're just a face in the past. He paused. Memory is a beautiful thing, but you deserve to be more than a memory. You deserve to be present. He told of Gerald, a 90-year-old veteran who stopped attending his local Legion Hall. They stopped seeing me, he said. They only saw the medals. Dr. Brenner stepped toward the mirror. Place on stage. You are not your resume. You are not your war stories. You are still here, and you deserve to be seen as you are now. A final challenge as the crowd grew still. Dr. Brenner asked them to write 3 things. 1. One habit they'll let go of this week. 2. One new place they'll try that makes them feel alive. 3. 1 connection they'll make intentionally. I ended with this. Greater than the world tells you to slow down. Stay quiet. Step aside. But I'm telling you, walk forward, speak up, and take space. You've earned not just rest but purpose. Don't go where you shrink. Go where you shine. And that night, something changed. Not just in the room, but in hundreds of homes across the country. Elderly parents called their children and said, I want to talk. Grandmothers walked into new churches, retired. Men dusted off fishing poles and books and paintbrushes. Because growing old wasn't the end. It was a second beginning, and they finally believed it.